money, it's the money, it's the money, yeah. It's the money, it's the money, it's the money, yeah. It's the money.
Hey y'all, and welcome back to the channel, especially if you were just came from the other live. Welcome back. Y'all know what it is. We are back to talk Rebel Ridge, the new Netflix action thriller that came out last week. And y'all know we have thoughts, and I couldn't do this alone. So here we are to talk all things Rebel Ridge with some of my favorite people in these YouTube streets. Tyra, I'll start with you. How was your day? How are you doing this fine Tuesday?
I'm wonderful. I thought you were going to ask me about this movie. I said, don't you ever.
No, not yet.
I'm wonderful. I'm great. I can't wait to talk about Rebel Ridge because it was just so exciting.
Okay, over at the fifth wall, how are you doing today, ma'am?
It's been a long day, but I'm here. But I don't want to talk about this movie though. I want to talk about this movie.
I know, that's right. Because we need to talk about this man. If we don't talk about nothing else, we're going to talk about Mr. Aaron Pierre because he's worth it. Dom, thank you for being here. Thank you for accepting this invite at a moment's notice. I wanted a male's perspective on the panel tonight. And you know, you're our go-to man. You are our go-to bro. You know what I'm saying? So thank you for being here. How has your day been so far?
No problem. Got off the plane from Vegas, went to work, and then now talking about movies. So it's a good day.
A good day. Well, y'all know we're not going to waste any time. We're not going to dawdle because that's not something that we do around here. We're going to get right off into this. And I want to know, because it wouldn't be an Ashley Live if I didn't ask this question every single time. I want to know your overall thoughts. Kay, I'm going to start with you. What did you think of Rebel Ridge overall?
I like that they hooked us in the first few minutes. They didn't waste no time. You cut this movie on and you're right in the middle of a story immediately. So it's just like, okay, there was like no time to waste, no fooling around. I'm like, I'm with it. Let's go. I'm glad we have another action hero. I feel like this generation is missing action heroes. Where are Arnold's, our Schwarzeneggers? Where's Jean-Claude Van Damme, Bruce Lee? Where are the action heroes of today? Wesley Snipes, where the action heroes at? Mr. Man here, let's bring it back. But when you become an action hero now, there's some things that go on the checklist. I need some explosions. Okay. I need you to be walking with an explosion behind you. Okay. I need them shirts to be ripped off. I don't know how this always happens in a battle. It's like one of the check, if your shirt, if you fighting, it got to be ripped off some kind of way. Okay. And then we need a good death count. And so if we can get him with a ripped shirt, an explosion, and a high death count, this can be the new action hero.
Child, Lord. She's also rip his shirt and some explosions and some bodies. We need to see them dropping. Dom, what say you? What were your overall thoughts after watching Rebel Ridge?
Well, I didn't have as much lusting going on as other people in the comment in the live. Yeah. But I felt good. I actually like this movie. I felt like they had to cast a black dude only because if they cast a white dude, then they might get sued for how much this is like Jack Reacher. Like this is, if they didn't have the racial tension over this movie, this is a Jack Reacher movie. But that's not a bad thing. I like it, and I'm all for it. I'm all for it. This was good to me. It was good movie.
I said the same thing. A black Jack Reacher, absolutely, because Reacher I'm going to watch all day. And this was so reminiscent of Reacher just being a big figure, right? Like a big strong man. Ready to do. Tyra, I came to you last because I know how you feel. But go on and let the people know what your overall thoughts were of Rebel Ridge.
I really wanted Rebel Ridge to be something. I did. I don't know who the hell Jack Reacher is, but if he doing what he was doing in this movie, he ain't doing much of nothing. Okay. I am a child of action 70s, 80s, 90s tops. Okay. I had certain expectations for what I felt like he should have been doing. And we weren't doing it. And we weren't doing it for 2 hours. I got impatient. Okay. I don't have time to wait for you to action, buddy. And when you did, let's just say by the end, you don't give me I'm combat ready, catch a fish swimming upstream, shaving in the woods. I probably can start a fight with my bare hands for us not to have a battle, 50 versus 1 in the woods. He was supposed to be shirtless, fighting in the woods. It was supposed to be raining. He was supposed to go into full-blown Sylvester Stallone Rambo mode. And he was supposed to be, I was just waiting for, the action. When I saw, the premise and I was getting into it, I was like, oh, this is Walking Tall. I don't know who Jack Reacher is, but I was like, this is Walking Tall. Okay. I'm here for this, small town, got a little white love interest, whatever that is. Hey, somebody back from the war, got a little history. Different premise, same type of scenario though. It was almost, there was so much potential. It's like they just didn't want to go there. I've never seen somebody do so much action and try to we're disarming people and we're not killing anybody. What are we killing people? I mean, I guess he was supposed to be honorable and a soldier or whatever. I was waiting for bodies to drop, shots to fire. Like when he did this with the gun, he was like, oh, he looks so fine. He was just, tossing them. But no, we're supposed to bang. We're supposed to be, I'm gonna let it go because we got more to get into. All I'm gonna say is, it's only so many times I want to see a brother put a person in a sleeper hold, kill somebody, explosion, rain, death, body count, death. What was the death?
Lord Jesus. Lord Jesus. Okay, so here's the thing. I enjoyed this. I said, when I talked to the ladies behind backstage, I said, listen, this was made for me because there wasn't a ton of the violence. There wasn't a ton of blood. And I was like, yes, I can do this. And he's big fine. Now, Tyra, do yourself a favor and watch Jack Reacher. Jack Reacher gonna get it back in blood. It's none of it. It's no, oh, baby, I'm gonna hold you. I just want to disable you. Jack Reacher is going to end you. Like,
I don't
he's
know
gonna
what
end.
it is. Is it Escape from New York? Is it Commando? Is it The Predator? Is it Die Hard?
It's gonna turn you on. I'm just gonna say, turn on. Baby, I ain't seen all the movies. I'm telling you to go over to Prime Video and turn on Reacher, and it's gonna turn you on. I mean, he totally
like
different, but the same.
It's like First Blood without the PTSD. It's a little Rambo-y.
Give me some
Rambo-y.
At least at the bare minimum, give me some freaking roundhouse kick some, and Baby and Mark for Death. He wasn't never doing nothing. Old Steven Seagal, he wasn't doing a damn thing. I knew it was gonna be somebody. He's like, meet me halfway.
And I actually enjoyed, though, and I will say this, shout out to Jeremy Saulnier, the director, because I think it's interesting. It's an interesting take on the stereotype of what people think of most Black men, especially, I guess, in this situation, right? That they're uber violent, they're taking people out and doing all that. And I really enjoyed that they didn't play into that kind of stereotype, y'all. But let's get into the premise, right? An ex-Marine getting framed by corrupt cops in a small town in Southern America. Again, this is anywhere, any town, USA down there. Terry Richmond, played by Aaron Pierre, the ex-Marine protagonist, ultimately gets into a showdown with Johnson's chief, Sandy Summers, after having tens of thousands of dollars stolen from him. I want to say immediately, I thought that this premise was extremely promising. I think this could be a situation that happened. Tyra, I'm going to start with you. What were your thoughts on the premise?
It was there. All of the bare bones for this to be a legit action movie was here. I was really intrigued by the opening. Like Kay said, they did pull you in the opening. I was like, oh, a young brother. Like, don't do this. Don't start. I was on my bike. Okay. I was minding my business, listening to my metal on my bike. Now, how far he rode on that bike, I would love to know. Cause what? But it was there. I was invested. I wanted to know what was going to happen. Clearly, the cops made their agenda known, and he let it be known. Like, I'm not leaving here without my cousin, getting to see my cousin. I came here with a plan, and that's what I'm going to do, regardless of what's happening here. And I wanted to see what I thought was going to happen. He's subdued now. Our arms don't get that big and muscular for nothing. The brother gonna handle up when it's necessary, and I'm just waiting until how far do they have to push him for him to just let it all out? But he just kept subduing individuals.
Dom, what did you think of the premise? Did it have potential? Do you think it lived up to its potential?
No, I think the premise lived up to its potential because the way the movie opens, it subverts expectations a little bit in the sense of like when the movie opens and you see this black man on a bike and you see the cop car behind him, my mind already went to where this was going to go. But it didn't really go there. Like the heart and soul of this premise wasn't racial. Like there were overtones, obviously, but the plot of this wasn't driven by the racial issues that we would have associated with a black man having an encounter with the cops. And so I appreciated that subversion of my expectations. And then the premise made sense. Like it made sense why this contained to a small town. It made sense why, like everybody's motivations made sense. So why the cops are keeping stuff under wraps and not reporting certain stuff, why they let them go. Like every elevation of the premise and of the plot made sense. And so that's all I need. I just needed to make sense and not be confusing. And it did both of that.
And she's muted.
Okay, what did you think of the premise?
I have a quick question though before we talk about the premise. Did we establish why he lived outside?
Girl, we ain't got to it.
He was
just-
on
Oh,
the
you
Black
have a
preacher.
slide for that. I can wait on that because I was just curious if we
He's
went
a free
to
black
it.
man,
So
sovereign
sorry.
citizen.
I'm like, was we living off the grid or
He was
something?
that hardcore.
No, but
Yeah.
remember, because he had sold everything. He had sold everything to bail because his plan was to bail his cousin out, and then they was gonna go somewhere else and like get a boat or something. So he had
I
like
thought he
sold
just sold his
everything.
car. Where would you had nowhere to live?
Well, he sold the car and he sold his stake in the restaurant, in the Chinese restaurant. So
At
I thought
game at the point of him not getting the cousin out and him
Lord.
staying in town, I eventually thought the brother was gonna get a room.
I just had to throw that out there real quick.
they
But
took
yes,
all his money.
he had to have a little something left. You could at least get a hotel room stay. You ain't
They
got
took
to
it
sleep
all.
in the woods and
It
fish
was all
out
in
your
that
own
backpack.
dinner. I was
That damn backpack.
He had nothing on the debit card. He had no credit cards. He had $30,000 in a backpack. That's it.
Backpack. Is some
Nothing
fitted
in his
shoes.
pocket.
I was just bothered because he was just sweating the whole movie. I was like, maybe that's the action hero appeal. But my
Nah,
man's
that
was like, somebody get him some AC and a fan. He was just hot the
It's
whole
just
time.
like the man was fine. What more do y'all want? Y'all asking the wrong question.
They delivered. They delivered. Kay, what was the premising for you? That's all I want to know, ma'am.
It did. I appreciate it with the. I like the way that the director picked a good script, and I feel like I haven't seen a good action movie on Netflix since The Old Guard.
Okay.
We still didn't.
So according to Screen Rant, Netflix's new action movie Rebel Ridge is inspired by a real life altercation written and directed by Jeremy Saulnier. Rebel Ridge features a strong cast led by Aaron Pierre, Anna Sophia Robb, David Denman from The Office Honey, and Don Johnson. Now, if you think Anna Sophia Robb looks familiar, she was in a ton of teeny bopper movies. Like she was in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, some show with a horse or something like that.
Girl, that's
I want to
Bridge
know.
to Terabithia. That's who that is. That's Bridge to
Bridge to
Terabithia.
Absolutely. And we know Don Johnson, Miami Vice, the original. I don't care for him in a racist role. I don't like it. But Dom,
he play a racist. He play a racist cop in like three. Wasn't he just in The Watchmen playing a racist cop?
Yeah,
They gonna call him every time.
Don't call him.
Don Johnson, you played this role a little too well. I need to know what's going on at home, man.
Lord have mercy. So, like I said before, y'all, this was made for me. So, for me, the pros were I think the storyline had a ton of potential. I think that the acting was decent. I believe these characters. I believe they were held by the courage of their convictions. I believed all of them. I felt like it was non-stereotypical for him, especially for our protagonist. And I think it was shot beautifully. I think that they really kind of captured the essence of the Deep South in the woods, all that. I enjoyed that. For me personally, the cons were towards the middle and end. There were some pacing issues for me. I got lost in the sauce a little bit. I felt like the ending was super ambiguous. I put not enough action because that's what Tyra said. It was plenty enough action for me personally. And then some things just didn't make sense. The end with oh boy didn't make sense to me. Because why all of a sudden are you a good guy? I didn't get his motivation to help him.
I got
But Dom, I will start with you. What were some of the pros? What were some of the cons for you?
Okay, so this movie had a lot of pros for me because first of all, you got to judge this movie as it is. Don't judge this movie like it's a summer blockbuster that came out in theaters because it's not. It's a Netflix movie, so you got to judge it like Extraction and them type of movies. This is a straight to DVD movie with a better budget. And I feel like that was one of the pros. Is like you could tell that they had $5 to shoot this movie, and they did the best. They made that $5 stretch because we shot in the same 3 places, but we made it work. It was shot beautifully, and I thought the storyline, like I said, made sense. I thought the premise made sense. I thought all the characters were believable. Like you said, non-stereotypical. I think this movie was almost anti-stereotypical because instead of showing us the angry black man, this man, the whole movie is showing restraint. Like he walks away 11 times. Even after his cousin dies, he still walks away. And then it's when you hurt the white woman that now I got to get violent.
Here we go. That pisses me off. We'll get into it.
Right. But aside from that, but my thing is he shows restraint throughout the entire movie. And I thought I liked that. And I like the fact that, I didn't need so many people to tell him that they had kids. One time would have been fine. We had to keep reiterating that these people got kids. I understand. I see cops as human. We don't got to ultra humanize the cops. It's okay. They got kids. They're people. Cool. And I thought the fact that he was able to dismantle entire police force without taking a life. He was breaking arms, the pumping the shotgun and throwing it in somebody's face. That was my favorite part. I know that wasn't as explicit as an R-rated film, but when he was and threw it, I was engaged. I was here for it. The ending to me was not ambiguous. It just wasn't, direct. But I was like, once he had the little DVR under his arm,
he was holding on to it. That, but we still don't have no answers.
Well, yeah, they went to jail. It's implied. They went to jail.
Is old girl strung out? What happened to her? Did she get her child back? I mean, because she was a damsel in distress. What happened?
Well, because we got the P, so the P never made it to the lab, and now these cops gonna get caught for all the stuff they did. So she gonna get the kid. It's gonna be all right. We don't care about the kid. You don't really care about the kid. And the white man cop was just a good person. That was the point of the movie. Is that my thing is because we always knew the white lady had an inside person, and the black dude, like the audience, assumed it was the black woman cop, but it wasn't. It was him the whole time that was helping her. Because not everybody white is bad and not everybody black is good. That was the whole point of that. To me, that was the whole point of that bait and switch. Was like, oh yeah, white men can be good too. We got to find one good white man in this movie, and he was him. But I was okay. It was a simple movie. It was a fun movie. I didn't need a Christopher Nolan plot. I just needed a simple Netflix entertaining movie. This to me was just as entertaining as Extraction.
Okay, what were your pros and cons for this film?
I mean, I agree. I feel like for it to be a made-for-TV movie, I'm not going to expect much, but I felt like this was a good since this was on the TV. I'm like, this is a good movie. It was, I watch a lot of stuff by myself, but like halfway through, I paused it and I told my husband, I said, this is getting, you might want to watch this one. Although I did watch the first half of it. You can come up and finish. So it was good enough that I said you might want to sit and watch it too. The cons, again, if my cousin got taken out and it was y'all's fault, somebody got to pay for this. Somebody got to pay. I'm kicking ass and taking names after that, and I feel like he should have kicked a little bit more ass and took some more names than what he did.
And took some more. I'm scared, Tyra.
I mean, y'all chalking it up. It's TV. It was Netflix. As if, first of all, Extraction is way better. There's Extraction, as Kay said, there's Old Guard, Project Power, The Five Bloods.
No way you put this under
no,
Project Power.
Saying,
Project Power was okay.
But it's better. Something was happening in Project Power. What I can say is the pros, the man was fine. That's all I got for pros. The man was fine. He looked good in the role. I like, it was too much shirt on. Eventually, like, let's just go back to the 80s. I don't care. Run it back. We didn't get enough skin. I'm always here for a good sex scene. I didn't want him to be with the white tea woman, but if that would have meant that we could have got him naked because he was with the white tea woman, I would have took it. But no, we didn't go that far. This wasn't that kind of relationship.
Thank God.
The only pro was that he was fine and he was walking around. That was it. He looked statuesque walking around. Now for the cons.
Yeah, I thought you said the cons. I thought you had just prepped them in there.
You put a lot on that beautifully shot down there. If you don't get that out of here. She made that up. You put that in there to fill up the box. Okay. The pacing was terrible. Like, this was a heavy hitting, like that added to why I couldn't enjoy it, because I was invested. I felt like my investment was taken for granted because y'all wasn't doing nothing. And then you give me 2 hours? Like, that is ridiculous.
Was it 2 hours?
Yes.
Oh, okay. That might be.
That's ridiculous for an action film. This was a 90-minute, hard-hitting action type situation, period. Shut up, Dane. That's all this was supposed to be. The ambiguous ending, like, even if it wasn't ambiguous, it wasn't fulfilling for this journey. You trying to make us invested in her and the drugs, and he comes carrying and her, and it looked like King Kong. I didn't like the reference. It just didn't look right. I didn't feel good about it. He come carrying her in there, then he snatches the situation out, and then it's just fade to black. I was like, and then I waited around, like, well, of course they're gonna tell us something. Nothing. It's just off. Netflix said, "Would you like to watch another movie?" I was like, well, I guess that's it. And there definitely wasn't enough action. If there would have been, even if he wasn't, he didn't want to kill anybody, fine. What I thought was going to happen was we were going to get in the woods, and he was going, what were we? Oh, okay, what were we in the woods for? We weren't going to use them. I thought he was going to booby trap situations, and we was going to get all the ways he could, 1 versus 50. It's only it's one of me and 50 of y'all. I got to make a shake, but I don't want to kill anybody. I'm gonna, do this whole, I thought maybe we were gonna go in that direction. It just wasn't. There wasn't enough action to sustain a 2-hour film, and the sleeper holds were not that. If we weren't doing a sleeper hold, he was, sulking with a white woman. I just didn't. What y'all gonna do with that? And she wasn't giving nothing. She still looked like she on a bridge to Terabithia. She looked like she ain't aged a day. It gave a little girl. I wasn't invested in that. I didn't care. They waited too long to try to make us invested in her and her daughter situation. By the time she brought up that kid and her little addiction, I didn't give a damn. I didn't care. I was like, get me out of here. I'm here for Ashley. I'm here for Ashley and the fine man. That's it. Yeah, it just did not come together. I'm sorry.
Lord, well, this might turn your spirits around a little bit. And I don't like that either. And him kind of playing the magical Negro and embroiling himself in a situation he already got out of to save this woman. It was a problematic. You know what I mean?
Jack
but I'm setting it right there.
He did the same thing. Jack did.
He would have got some cootenanny, and she would have been fine if it was Jack.
No, because the little cop side chick in season 1 of Jack Reacher, I didn't want to see him knock that down. He's
Yes,
gonna
it wasn't
break her
nobody to
ass.
knock down. He could have bent over the lady who worked down there at the police station. She had hips.
No,
No,
all
I
skin folk
want to
ain't
see
kin
that.
folk. We gonna get to
Anybody?
her.
Yeah, I want to see
No.
that.
Game time, no, because she fine, but she pissed me off. Game time, though. Who's got your back? So it wouldn't be alive if we didn't have a game time. And I want to know who's got your back. You are going to be presented with 2 action heroes, okay? And you have to tell me and the subbies down below, the watchers, your rationale behind why you chose this person, okay? So we are starting now. Who's got your back? Terry Richmond from Rebel Ridge or Jack Reacher from Reacher? Kay, I'm going to start with you. Who's got your back? Who you trust to save you?
I'm rooting for everybody black.
So it's you got Terry.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Terry because I feel like if we family, then he ain't got no choice. I mean, apparently he sold everything he had to live in the woods. So what else? What more do you want?
Gonna buy a boat. He's gonna buy a boat.
Tyra. Oh, you don't know Jack, but
No. I don't know him, but I'm going over there with Jack. Okay, you said Jack killed. I'm going over there with Jack. I don't have time for you to be trying to be righteous and subdue people. And I need somebody who's a shooter. I'm assuming Jack is a shooter. He's a herder.
Jack gonna kill him. He gonna tell him he gonna kill him first. He gonna tell everybody what he's about to do, and then he's gonna
I'm
do
over
it.
there with Jack, and then Terry will be over there. I'll be looking at him like a piece of chocolate. I ain't got time. I'm trying to live. We ain't got time to be fantasizing. I'm gonna go over there with Jack, who's also a shooter, and I don't care about him because he's a white T man. They just ain't my stilo. I'm gonna be with Jack. It's cool.
Oh my gosh, Dom, who got your back?
Yeah, I hate this because I gotta pick Jack. Only because I like Terry and I like I said, I like the movie, but the benefits of the movie, I'm not picking him because it took him too long to act. Like they had to push this man to the limit. Like if he got my back, I need you to have my back before I die. His cousin died, and he still was gonna leave. Like
he was tired. Dumb. They couldn't even get us invested in the cousin. I ain't never seen no camera work so hard enough to show somebody we supposed to care about dying. I'm like, y'all not on the bus, pound. I got a pound. Come on the bike.
I thought it was gonna be a famous person. The way they was like leading up to us showing him the face, I thought it was like, oh, is it gonna be like a famous? That's gonna be like Tysonette in the movie or something. But
Terry Richard doesn't sound like Jack Reacher. It sounds like I'll reach your mother. That's what it sounds like. Don't make me go get Terry. No.
Jack Reacher got a real solid sense of morality. So if it's right, it's right. If it's wrong, it's wrong. And if it's wrong, I'm gonna write it. So I gotta have Jack. Jack.
As the movie started, I was like, Terry.
That sounds like the name of a Negro.
Well,
Terry Richmond.
I mean,
out of all the
Terry Richmond do sound free. He sound like he just got free though. He sound like he just.
But y'all, we
free. His papers in his back pocket.
Freedom papers. I'm skating my way to freedom for freedom.
I'm not doing this.
He
with
biking
y'all.
to Canada. Like he's trying to make it.
Apparently, he got the survival skills.
Yeah, that's where he got that bike. Got fresh off the plantation.
So we all agree that this was a super strong start. The opening scene, we see this beautiful black man on a bike, getting tapped, bumped, rear-ended by the police. The one y'all said was good, right? And just because you do a good act, does that make you good? We could have a deep philosophical conversation about that. But he absconds with Jack Reacher's $36,000. We know he had a plan. He needed to bail his cousin out because his cousin caught a misdemeanor possession charge. But what we didn't know was his cousin had turned state's evidence on some unalivers a while ago. And so he should need to be in protected custody. He can't go to the Pinta because if he goes, they're going to take him out. I want to know, starting with you, Dom, did you believe this situation? Was this situation realistic to you, that he take all your $36,000 out of the Chinese food bag and says, this is a forfeiture zone? I believe that this is drug related, even though you don't have no drugs on you, don't smell like reefer, you riding a bike. So I'm gonna take it. If you fight it in court, you're gonna go to prison. Do you believe this? Is this believable? Have you heard of this in real life?
This was the most believable part of the movie. This movie. I'm not from a small town, but I lived in a small town of Nowheresville, Georgia, and before I moved there, I had never gotten pulled over, never had an issue with the law. I moved here, I got pulled over 3 times in 4 months. This is how they talk to you. I didn't have no bag full of money in my car, but this is the attitude they had. They do whatever because a lot of times you don't have the money to fight it no way. And she told him when he got to the courthouse, you try to fight it, you're gonna spend twice as much money than what they took just to fight it. So they talk to you any kind of way because they know they're gonna go on about their business. So the least believable part about this exchange is that he waited for consent to go through that bag. He going through that bag. I ain't waiting for you to tell me I can search this bag. I'm searching this bag and I'm finding this money. But it did make a little bit of sense when we find out later that the lights turned the dash cam on. So maybe that's why he was being a little bit by the book. But yeah, this was the best part. I mean, this was the most realistic part of the movie to me.
Okay.
Why was it in cash and not in a check or on a debit card?
Question.
A lot of jails, don't they request like a cash? Like don't they, or certified funds of some kind? You think he should have got a cashier's check?
I mean, they do look suspicious. How many ninjas that's this buff riding around on a bicycle with a backpack? He looked like a high-end corner boy. I would be suspect that he has this bunch of money in this backpack. Okay, I mean, as buff as he is, like, where are you going with all the muscles and all this money?
He looks like he likes to exercise.
He gave an explanation, Kay, and I thought it was plausible because a lot of people, from my understanding, you have to pay a bond or bail in cash, don't you? I thought they don't have time to verify funds. I mean, he said he was buying the dually too. He was buying the truck. Tyra, what say you?
Exactly. Let me tell you something, because see, I know people that be in the state pen. We ain't never had to be able to school.
Lord Jesus. Who you know, Kay? Who you know?
Well, you did look suspicious on that bike. No, this man was minding his business. As he said, he had his headphones. This was, like Dom said, this was the most realistic situation. We know this situation all the way from way back in the day when they were stopping and randomly frisking people. It's the same thing. Like, you're black. That's all we needed. You were black. He could have been in the car. He would have got stopped anyway.
We ain't even driving while black. This is riding while black.
It didn't matter. This is a small town where everybody knows everybody. This is an unfamiliar face. Hey, maybe he's black. He's got to be affiliated with those drugs. Let's stop it.
If it was that much woods, he should have known this was a sundown town, and that was the wrong thing to do.
Now, I've heard about this in very big cities. Like, I've heard about it in Chicago, how there's forfeiture zones because a lot of dope is transported in that area on the highway or whatever. So no, I definitely think it's plausible. But here's
something actually plausible for that cop to have stopped him. There needed to be some type of reasonable situation for them to scrape up baby pretty skin in his elbows, because baby, there was nothing. Especially if you wanted us to believe that this guy all along in the end was, one for the team. He didn't give that when he stopped him. He gave.
I thought that the dude who pulled him over was this dude, the dude that we caved his face in.
He was with him.
He was with him.
He wasn't the main guy. No, I wasn't saying that they were justified. I wasn't saying they were justified. I was saying that I know that there's certain parts of like the interstate or certain parts of certain states where the cops do this, right? If people have large sums of money, a lot of drugs are transported on those routes. And so it's called a forfeiture zone. And so I think that's what they're trying to imply in that part of it. But here's what I want to know.
Don't be writing the script. Don't be giving them no help. No. They ain't say that. You did that's right over there with beautifully shot. Leave that over there.
Oh, Lord have mercy. But this is what I want to know, really. Is this plausible? He says, after all this black man says, listen, he come back up there on his bike that's already been dented. And he's like, look, y'all keep the 26,000. Just give me the 10. I just need to get my cousin out, sir. sir, please, sir. Like, I just want to do this. Don Johnson says, okay, well, you can sign this. That sounds like a good idea. Your cousin will be here tomorrow around 9 a.m. You can come back and see him. And he got on his, best yes, sir, boss situation here. Again, maintaining self-control, not letting his emotions overwhelm him, right? Because we know this could have went extremely left in the very beginning, because these jokers were up to no good. Tyra, I'm gonna start with you. Do you respect his decorum in this moment? Do you respect it? What he was trying to do
at this moment? Now, after this, no. You only get so much, patience and docile and sir, I want no. By the time, this bid got old real quick. I was waiting for the baby to pop off. I was like, look at this respectful black man. Like, I don't have to do. I'm not gonna confront you with anger. I'm gonna come here with respect, like I'm civilized. I'm a man. I'm a man of means and military. I know how to conduct myself. And I already know what kind of operation y'all running. How about y'all just keep that and just give me 10 so I can get my cousin? With respect, sir. I was here for this. When we repeatedly got this from him, I was like, yeah, going back in the woods. I don't want to see it no more.
Okay.
This is a lot for his cousin. You got to really love your cousin, because let me tell you, I'm not doing all this for my nephew. Once you done knocked me off my bike, riding around like Debo, now it's bent up, and y'all still not trying to get me no help. I'm going home. Well, he ain't got no home, so what else do we got to do?
Going back to
Oh my goodness.
Lord have mercy. Dom, what say you?
No, this was what you got to do. Sometimes you got to play the game, and you put it this way. He was still putting the sir on, and he knew what he was doing. He knew where he was at, and he's like, "Look, I just got to do what I got to do to get my cousin out, and let me do what I got to do." And this was the part where you got to be an American. You got to be an American black male to understand what this position is, because originally they were going to cast John Boyega as this role, and he left the project, and they got this guy. And I'm like, this is a uniquely American experience about just being in this.
Dumb. He's from across the pond too, over there with John. Yes.
Yeah.
He's
British
this boy can act.
He's English, mate.
He can do it. Yeah, I was wondering where he got them light eyes from. Yeah, okay. That makes sense now. All right.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
They got brother. No, dog. It's the same brother.
Yeah.
Look, K.R. is listening now. It was gonna be John.
Exactly. What John Boyega quit?
No, that's K boyfriend. Okay.
Lord,
We're next. Who's got your back? Y'all in the comment section, drop it below for us. Who's got your back? From Kill Bill, The Bride, Uma Thurman, or Trinity from The Matrix? I'm going to start with you, Tyra. Who's got your back?
I'm going over there with Trinity. I love The Bride, but The Bride is only for The Bride. She has her own agenda to worry about. Girl, she ain't worried about me. She gonna let me die. Trinity, long as I ain't trying to be over there with the machine, she gonna have my back. I'm gonna go over there with Trinity.
Okay.
Fun fact about me, although y'all know what my favorite horror movie is, The Matrix is my favorite movie ever. Of all time, anytime, The Matrix is my number one favorite movie. That's why I named my daughter Trinity. So yes, it's gonna have to go to her. She gonna put her life on the line for you.
Baby, she gonna get the job done. Dom.
I'm gonna say I don't really look at none of these women. Because both of them are selfish. Let me tell you why. Because the bride is out for revenge, and she didn't really care about anybody who got in her way. Trinity was 10 toes down for Neo. Typing Trinity down, she gonna ride for you. But y'all forget, she was ready to leave Morpheus with the agents. Only Neo was going in there. Trinity was about to leave that black man hanging. You turn that white lady if you want to. She was going to leave that man to get mind probed by the machines. So I really don't think none of them got my back. If we being honest, I ain't seen neither one of these women help a black man. So I ain't.
First of all, she was doing her job. Okay, she was not the one. She didn't know they could save Morpheus. That was not her job to save him. Okay, she was not the one.
I ain't doing it. I take my chances with Trinity, but the bride killed a black woman in front of her child. Nope. Laid Vivica out before that baby could barely get off the bus. Nope, I'm all right.
Lord have mercy. I'm a rock with Trinity because Trinity rocking with us. I'm gonna just set that right there. At this point, give him that money because it only takes a couple times of me seeing this big black beautiful man, okay? To know he's not playing games with you, that he'll break every single bone in your body. And it was just the amount of hubris for me. So in this scene, we see Don, Sheriff Sonny Summers, whatever his name is, and he's out there, thinking he's gonna do big work until they Google him on the inside. And they say MCAP, oh, he's in navigation. They said, baby, that's not even what that means. Okay. He's hand to hand, no weapons, all weapons, everything bad. And they were like, get some distance between, but it was too late by then. You know what I'm saying? And we see the battle ensue. And my question for you, and I know it's a movie, right? But why? Like when the man, he made you a fair deal, but then you got to come in this man's face and completely disrespect him and say, yeah, you believed it because that's what I wanted you to. But for you to come here with the audacity to think you can tell me anything, why were they putting up so much of a fuss about this? It was a fair, you got the majority. I mean, you see, he's persistent. You see, he seemed like he got a special set of skills. Like, why are we doing this, Dom? Why?
Because old Southern white man can't stand uppity Negro. What are you?
She know that. She know why she playing. She's blind about it.
I know she's just asking this question because it's the interview question. I know that she know. But first of all, I think he would have had this stance with anybody because he got power, and people with too much power for too long don't think they can ever lose it. But because you got this young, confident black man standing in front of you with his chest poked out, thinking he can tell you what to do and can rescind his respect at the moment's notice, now you feel offended. Now you got your ego all ruffled, and you casted Don Johnson. So you know what I'm saying? Once we cast Don Johnson, this scene was gonna happen regardless. It don't matter what the plot of this movie was. You had Don Johnson, so we had to write this scene. And this was probably the best scene in the movie because when he was explaining the pace, and he was like, you done made me get you to eat. I was like, what's eat? That's what we did talk about in the pros is that this movie is well written. Forget we can debate how it's shot. The dialogue and the way this movie is written. This is a good movie. You gonna tell me otherwise. The way this movie was written and the dialogue, I was enjoying it.
Damn, I was almost your friend. I swear I was.
Okay.
I mean, he tried. He was trying to be. I think that was a big part of his demeanor is that I'm trying to show restraint at a time where I could snap your neck. So be lucky that I'm holding this restraint and not doing everything that I could possibly do. But of course, like Dom said, it don't matter if you Wesley Snipes, black, or you're passing with a brown paper bag test. That's still a black man, a big black man that's outsmarting them. We can't have that in this little sundown town. We don't do that here.
Mm-hmm. And think about it, he already got to look up to this black man. He's already. I gotta look up
and
to
looking
you.
Up, and and he's looking up in his eyes, looking like those look like my great granddaddy eyes. I see them like eyes. I know you one of them octoroons or something.
Mulattoes. Tyra.
This made me perk up when he got to this is the best, which is sad. This is the best scene in the movie when he was explaining pace and breaking it down. I was like, oh, it's up from here. This is what I've been waiting on. The action about to start. It's about to pop off. I thought we was going to be under siege and held up in the police station. I thought
we did for a moment.
Yeah, we couldn't do that because we just had to figure out a way to say that white tea woman and put her in there. I thought it was up for here. I thought it was up from here, but it wasn't. I can't get into the black man and the poking out of the chest and all of that good stuff because once we get to that point where he decides to leave this situation and get himself turned in to go to jail to help, like that whole, all right, that's a plan. Once we have that and the white tea woman calls and he's confronting like how he felt in that moment, I just, I was actually kind of relieved that they let me go. And like maybe he was in the position of catching himself like being an accepting docile Negro. That's not me, it's about the pace. So like it was. But the only reason you weren't, or the reason you came back, it wasn't because you didn't feel like, oh, this is not right. I ain't that nigga. I'm this nigga. Let me go back. I don't like, no. You went back for that. You went back to save her. You was on your way out. Docile. You was gone.
Yeah,
so
and and so
if he would have came back on his own motive, then maybe I could have been like, okay, but. You didn't. You said that, the only reason you came back was to help. I came back for Terry, I need help. Like, girl, shut up. It was fine.
Oh, Lord. Here we go. And like I said, like the slide says, ex-crackhead at the right place at the right time, conveniently, right? Again, this was so random and odd to me. Her placement, her willingness to assist. But again, she's in the right place at the right time for whatever her reasons are, because I didn't really like the way she was looking at him. I didn't like the way she was looking at him, but we needed somebody on the inside who kind of knew the game. And it's throughout this that we find out that asset seizure is their primary funding method for this town, for this county, for this new jail they're getting. They've got judges in cahoots. This is a whole widespread situation. They lock all these people up with misdemeanors, throw them in jail for the full 90 days. Just enough time for them to be able to completely retain, the assets to fund the next step. But we'll get into it, honey. We're about to get into his little mini siege. But first, we've got another one. Who's got your back? Okay. And I want to know Sarah Connor from The Terminator or Celine from Underworld. Who's got your back? I'm going to start with UK. Who's got your back, girl? Drop it in the comments.
Now we gonna,
and yes, the supernatural element plays. So
that's what I'm like. We got artificial intelligence versus immortals. I'm gonna stick with an immortal because I mean, it's gonna take a lot to take her down. So because she's gonna die a few deaths before the final one, and so she can use at least 2 of those 3 or 4 or 5 deaths to save me.
Sarah got something on her. She is in her, actually. It ain't on Sarah, it's in her. So I don't know. Tyra, who got your back?
You already know my favorite action is Terminator 1 and 2. That's my favorite action movie, period. That's what all of this is what this movie was missing. Why you got the slides here. This is what it was missing. Okay. It was missing some of that Terminator. I needed him to be on his T-1000 type of energy, and he wasn't. Anyway, Sarah is relentless in her pursuit and trying to get to where she needs to go. Celine, I ain't no vampire. I ain't a part of her community. I'm not trying to be a meal for Celine. Are you crazy? Absolutely not. Sarah is everything. Like, Sarah is iconic. And Celine, but yeah, once Sarah gets, a mission in her head and the Judgment Day situation, that's what it is. And if you with her, she got you. She gonna hold you down. You see, she tried to save that little black man. She tried to, but he had to go. He had to go. Who was that? Whitley Gears, but Byron Douglas had to go in the movie. He had to leave. But she tried. She would have saved him if she could have. I'm gonna be over there with Sarah all day long.
Okay, Dom, who's gonna save you? Who's got your back?
Not Sarah Connor. I ain't seen Sarah Connor save nobody. I ain't see Sarah Connor struggling to save her son. Sarah, if it ain't helping her stop Judgment Day, then it's in her way. I'm not. And Sarah Connor one of the people who I'm trying to stop the future, so an individual person isn't really a factor in that because I'm a bigger picture type of person. So I'm not. No, she ain't got my back. And yeah, the one black man that needed her help is dead on the floor. She didn't let Papa Pope die. I'm not.
Dom is going to do a series, ladies and gentlemen, of all of the action heroes who have let black men die when they watch.
That's right, because it's a list. And
I wasn't aware he was taking a running tab of this.
And I'm gonna pick Celine because of two reasons. One, because she might.
Dom said, "Not on my watch."
Like, Lord, he's trying to hold on.
It's a plot against the black man. It needs to be exposed.
Byron had to go. I'm sorry, Byron. Byron had to go. He had to die.
And Celine has not failed the black man, and I'm a pick Celine because for two reasons. One, she might fight me, so I get to become immortal. And two, I get to be anything that's gonna get me closer to Kate Beckinsale is gonna get my vote. So for the two reasons, I'm a pick Celine.
They will watch this series, Dom. If you make it, they will come. Okay, just
I'm just not realizing the amount of women, the amount of people that you keep picking that's let black folks down. Now I gotta do it because like,
it's gotta be
is
done.
the problem that it's not been addressed?
Clearly, it's nothing I had ever even thought about, Dom. So I mean, you
It's
this
the
is
plight of the black
innovative.
man trying to see his chances in survival.
Yeah, he said he's not gonna be over there.
That's why we needed you. That's why we needed you here, Dom. Lord have mercy. Okay.
We don't need to be up here late like this.
On a Tuesday, we got the money back. Okay, so he then took over the asylum, and he sees the snow cone maker or whatever it was back there. He sees all the money. He gets his little money. He's counting me out 10,000, just the 10. Boy, just silly, because why am I not just taking everything at this point? The crime's the crime, you know what I mean? But he is a man of moral convictions, and so he takes just enough, goes back and meets the ex-crackhead. She hurries, gets him the receipt, and does what he needs to do. And after all that, cousin's still gone. Dom, were you disappointed? Were you shocked? Were you surprised? How'd you feel?
Not because it had died. Because it was no place for him. Like if he got out and then we driving away and then the white lady called, now we got to have a conversation about should we go back. It's too much screen time. Let the cousin die. No, it was fine. The only thing I had issue with is I'm cool with the character having moral convictions. I'm cool with him being a stand-up guy. Cool with that because that's a black man. That's what we do. But once the sheriff or whatever broke the deal, why the hell are you leaving? You only taking the 10K. I'm taking all of mine because you broke the deal. I'm taking all of my shit. I'm taking the whole thing. I'm leaving here with something. I'm leaving here with everything. And so that was the only thing that didn't make sense to me. I'm like, you're not going back with these. Like, a deal's a deal, so I'm only taking the 10K. No, he broke the deal. Take all your money. But yeah, that cousin had to go. We didn't care. Nobody cared. He didn't care about him because he was like, oh, yeah, he did. All right, let me get in this dually and ride out.
Oh, my goodness. Tyra.
Oh, no, not the cousin. We cared so much about him. We were so invested.
What's his name?
Oh, no. His name is... That's his name. I don't know what his name is. Yeah, I didn't care about this at all. I thought the most this was gonna do for me, I was like, all right, he about to turn up now to cousin. Like, normally this means I gotta get it back in blood. That's normally what this means. I thought this was the escalation he needed to no longer do this little move with his gun. I was tired of this position. I thought he was gonna lead his stance and start, pop, pop, pop. I thought that's what we were gonna do, but we didn't. So yeah, but RIP to the cousin that never existed. They had the nerve not to even. I was like, why they glossing over his face in death? What's going on? They made him such a non-factor that they just didn't even want to show his face. I thought that was
closed casket. It was real bad. Closed casket. Okay. Did you shed a tear in this moment because he lost his cousin that he'd been going to war about?
Right. Wait, now why does Snow Bunny got to be a crackhead? Now you know they do crystal meth.
X. Same difference. Same difference.
And I wish that they would have taken us inside Penn State with cousin so that we would have been afraid with him. Like what was that, Your Honor? Like how they took us. I mean, I know they probably didn't want to bring all the trauma, but that's how you get invested in people, is take us in there and show us maybe the final. You might not have to show us that he got stabbed, but show us the final moments where we know that they about to take your boy down through there. They didn't show us that. We needed to see him in the fear and the thugs, like, oh, that's that little right there. Watch, lights out, shanks up.
She gotta see somebody get stabbed. She gotta see him get shanked.
The budget for this movie was $5. A jail setting is $6.
For that pound. Yeah, you can do it. Yeah, like, is this for all the niggers? Yeah. Oh, shut up. Please drive off. Drop off. Hit the gas. That's as fast as the bus can go. You can't go no faster than that.
Again, but I'm not doing half of that. I'm not doing half of that for my nephew. He guilty.
Nephew? Dang. Nephew's worse, Kay. You're supposed to be closer to your nephew. Say that you free.
I'm not coming.
Okay, y'all, listen. We
sign them up for the daddy-daughter dance from Daughters, and that's it.
See, some people be guilty. They just gotta be in there.
We're back, y'all. Who's got your back? Who's got your back? And I'm gonna start with you, Dom, this time. Rambo in First Blood or John McClane in Die Hard? This is gonna be telling.
Let me tell you, I'm picking John McClane. Because one, Rambo got PTSD. He needs therapy. He needs to talk to somebody. He out in the woods doing who knows what with who knows who. And he didn't do nothing bad to a black man that I can remember. But John McClane not only is dedicated to the mission, regardless if he assigned to it or not, he gonna get the mission done. He has healthy relationships with black men. He got Carl Winslow on his side, and he did it right by Carl. Him and Carl Winslow had a good relationship. They meet every Christmas to reminisce about Nakatomi Plaza. So I pick it John McClane.
Okay. Who's got your back? Rambo in First Blood or John McClane in Die Hard?
I got to go with Rambo, because sometimes you need somebody to be a little unhinged. Okay, clearly you got to spend some time in the woods if we're gonna get something done. Okay, and Rambo was out there. We need him to be in the woods, hot, sweaty, and unhinged, and then that's when we can get the results that we need.
TP, ain't nobody fooling with you. Tyra. We're not doing a live this late on a Tuesday anymore.
That's crazy.
Because that was nasty work. That's wild. Diddy and Carl Winslow. I can't. Tyra. Yeah. And that's Tyra, that's one of your people. Tyra.
Of course. Love you, TP.
We love TP.
Absolutely. Well, a lot of people had Carl Winslow, not just Diddy. Okay.
Where have I been all this time?
Was in these streets? Y'all said home with Harriet? Hell no.
Harriet Johnson out of this, man. Come on.
Absolutely, Rambo all day long. Like Kay said, I need some, they drew First Blood, not me. I'll give you the war you won't believe. I need that kind of, I need that unhinged. When he grips, I can't even do it because you can't even see, but when he grips the microphone and he leans up, like I need some of that. I needed some of that. Somebody got to give it to us. Harry ain't gonna give it to us.
You know what? I got somebody special for you later, Tyra. But all of this, we pay the bond. We've already done this, and now you're free to go. So after all this, the cousin dead. Now you can go. And he says, you know what? I am free to go, and I'm gonna go. Ex-crackhead, she says, listen. Don't go. Help us fix the corruption. You see it's corrupt. He said, this ain't my business. This is not Black-owned business. I am going to go buy my truck with the dually and go on about my Black-owned business. I don't want any parts of here. I'm heading out. Same night, they decide to give the ex-crackhead more crack. They shoot her up in the bathroom while she's asleep. And who does she call? the magical Negro, the black man that's going to come back and save the day. He wasn't ready to go fight corruption that got his cousin unalived. But now, because this flat pancake ex-crackhead calls him, he is ready to go to war all about her. I know your cousin died, but can you stay and fix this place? And my question to y'all is, did we need this damsel in distress? Tyra, did we need it?
Hell no, we never do. We never do. This is how this in reality, this is how black men get shot. Okay? This is how you get put down, brother Perry. This is how you lose it all. Trying to say this woman you don't know. We already had questions about her motivations and why she just, you just want to help this random fine black stranger. That's what we doing. Opie, that's what we doing, girl. Yeah, I didn't see that. They gave us her little black story with her kid. Like, okay, I got it. But him going back, like, you don't know this lady. Mm-mm. You don't know her. Nope. You don't know her. We didn't need this. If we didn't have this, it could have been more whoop ass. We didn't have whoop ass. We were spending time on this and them standing in the hallway or burning buildings and her. I gotta go back for something. You just go waiting for me in the car. I knew there was a setup. Okay, girl, we didn't need this. You don't know her, and we're not invested in her for you to go rescue her. I don't care how much crack she was smoking that they gave her. Leave her be. I don't care. She wasn't even attractive. She wasn't hitting on nothing. Give us some passion. It looked like he was going to save his kid, sister, brother, like son from his haircut, this butch cut. It just wasn't doing nothing for me. Terrible.
You call this lady Opie Taylor?
Opie.
Dom, did we need this damsel in distress?
Listen.
And are you going back to save her? Are you Captain Saving her?
Well, let me say that sometimes Hollywood got a Hollywood. So whether it's Denzel Washington, Dakota Fanning, whether it's Denzel Washington and Chloe Grace Moretz, whether it's the fresh-faced, the young-faced white woman is what the black man got to save. He got to save the white woman. It's the Equalizer. It's Man on Fire. It's Rebel Ridge. We got to save the white lady. That's the only way. The only time people turned out to see the black man save the black woman was in Django. And
you know what?
We barely even saw it. The black lady came at the end. We didn't see that. We didn't see Kerry Washington the whole movie. They put her in a box. They literally put her in a box the whole movie until the end of the movie. We don't want to see. They don't want to see no. They don't want to see that. They want to see Save the White.
Everybody go watch Passage of 57.
Okay. Wesley, shout out to Wesley Snipes, Young King. Lord, I'm scared to hear what Kate gonna say. I'm scared. I'm preparing myself. Brace yourself, ladies and gentlemen.
Listen, where is Dr. Umar at times like this? Because if he had him in his ear, he would have seen them be a bunny hopping in the snow. First of all, you can't trust these hoes with this haircut anyway. She got the Rosemary's Baby Night of the Living Dead haircut. Those are the type of people that get you into trouble every time because they can't never save themselves. They be in a horrific situation and can't get out of it and need somebody black to come and help them out of it. You can't just this haircut.
I understood.
He wouldn't have got that far. He wouldn't have got that far without her.
Technically in this situation, but nobody made her help this man. She did it on her own accord, and she knew the ramifications of it in this little small town. But for him, this could mean something completely different. Like this is death for him. Like, girl, go get out this town and go to rehab. I can't do nothing with that.
Exactly. That ain't his fault that she had a drug history.
She helped him, and he would have never got to as far as he did without her. So he felt like he owed it to her because he was only in trouble because she helped him.
You know what you do? You call the emergency mental health hotline. This is above me now.
It would be different if he like, oh, I forgot something in town. Let me go check on it. She called. You saw this the only person you had to call in this small town, Terry. I need help. I was like, oh,
who you gonna call? Who you gonna call? The police is corrupt.
The Ghostbusters. Don't call me.
They don't look. This town's so small and so broke, they don't have a public defender. My rights say I get a lawyer if I can't afford one, but this town said no because we can't afford one. So they don't have nobody. You see, they drove. They drove 30 minutes to a hospital. They go to the next town to get to a hospital.
She's had an inside person at the the precinct this whole time. Why she didn't call that person? Like there was nobody for you to call. There was somebody for you to call. Why you call that man?
Exactly. Where whoever taking care of your kids at?
Because that man didn't stop them from shooting you up in your sleep that you didn't feel the needle. They didn't stop none of that. So
well, she ain't gonna feel the needle. It's muscle memory.
Have you seen that? They shot her up with heroin and left the needle in the sink. Because they can leave behind evidence. See, that's how they roll. Who gonna check me, boo?
And that leads into my question, this situation, because now we're in another showdown with the man, because now he getting hard drives, talking to judges, they getting proof against Sandy Springs Sheriff Don Johnson. And this man says, not on my watch. You're not going to take out this black man on my watch all of a sudden. Right. And they're ready to fire on him. Sandy Springs him in the thigh, an artery at that. Like, he all right. It's just a flesh wound. Do you see the blood gushing, sir? And so then we see our protagonist, Terry, go, to me, full on combat medic, right? He's dragging the bodies, leaving no person left behind. They're throwing smoke bomb, all this. But this is my question. Why ain't the heifer call him? Call Tyrone. Call old boy from the office and have him fix it for you. You didn't need Terry back. You just wanted to see. She wanted a piece of Terry and he shut it down. She was looking at him very long in a couple of them scenes. And I said, you better not. Tyra, did you believe this? Did you believe that he was really good this whole time?
If the sister at the precinct wasn't a wise, like, it was like, you know what, you got to be the cervical. She ain't say nothing. But I see you. You see me, sister, black woman. Let's do the right thing here. We want to say, free, look, girl. How many clues do you need, black lady? We don't got time for this in your crown, Vic. That pissed me off. This here, if they could have maybe alluded or given us something like. It was a scarce mention that there was somebody on the inside at the precinct. He never gave that, so this felt random as hell. This was not a good idea. No.
Okay, that's the way I felt too.
Just let it be the sister in the crown big. Skin folk and kin folk. Just do that and just let the movie go off.
Okay, did you believe this?
This was a lie. I mean, was we trying to turn it around at the end or something? Like, he'd been hunted the whole time, and I was like, wait a minute. Not this guy. He's valuable. This is that guy. We can't do up. Why did we have to have this here in the beginning? That we could have just kept rolling on the path that we was and just let him figure out his own solution. We didn't need a white savior in this moment.
Is that what he was?
Is that what he was?
He looked pretty bleak. It did look a little bit like Terry saved him. Dom, what say you?
Yeah, he stopped him from getting shot. Then immediately got shot in the leg, and Terry had to save him. Like, this is the worst white savior in cinematic history. This is horrible. But I don't think that it's supposed to be like, this guy is a good person. I think that it is the complexity and nuance of morality, because he's okay with the crime, like the stealing the money, because you can justify it in your head. I'm okay taking the money because we're underfunded as a city, and the money's going to this, and the money's going to that, and it's going to programs. I mean, it's going to a margarita machine too, but it's actually going to programs that we need funding. But he just has a lie. Everybody else is so focused on the greed and not rocking the boat that they was like, we could just kill him and get it over with. He's like, no, we got a line. I'm not going to let you kill an innocent man because we commit crimes. Like, this dude still just has some sort of moral compass. It's just a little shifted, but it's to me, this was the complexity and nuance of the situation they were in. Like, he was, helping them build a case, just like the judge was fighting back in his own way. Like, the judge didn't be like, I can't stand y'all. He was doing his own little thing to fight back, and this dude was doing his own little thing to fight back, and then we got to a life being taken, and then he had to stand up. But that was,
he said, "I'll take your $30,000, but I ain't gonna let nobody kill you. I ain't gonna let not on my watch."
Look,
all them other men got killed. What about all the other the years of arrest? All these other black men, or whatever, man. Like, you care about them folks who make this in different because you know your little white crackhead friend. Is that what it is?
If they would have took him to jail, then he probably wouldn't have said nothing. But this is the same philosophy of old boy from Friday. He said, "I steal, I don't kill." It's the same. The same philosophy.
But did he say, Dom? Because I lost count. Did he? He didn't say he had kids. Did he say that too?
No, he told Harry that everybody got kids. He was like, I don't know if it makes a difference, but most of these guys are fathers. Like, he didn't have to say that he had kids.
So was the leader of the clan. Get out of my face.
Oh, Lord have mercy. And so while all this is going on, we know that she's overdosed again in the back because the most annoying cop, I didn't even feel like showing him on the screen because he just kept getting beat up. I said, "Ain't you sick of getting tased, beat up, knocked out, tased again, headlocked, choked out, like sleeper hold?" Like, it was terrible. I didn't even show him, but he injects ex-crackhead. She's laying in the back of the car, just whatever. He's bleeding out now. Jack's got to get them all rounded up. And then we see this one. And I call her all skin folk ain't kin folk, right? Because the way she played in this beautiful black man face the whole time, "I didn't do that for you. I did it for me." But they would have strung both of y'all up. Talk about string them up, string them up. And she's like, "He's been going through a lot." And he said, "Thank you. That wasn't for you." And then in this moment, she want to be Captain Saver. And she says, "I got this, Cap." He gives her the gun because he thinking she a sister. She got my back. She know they're wrong. She gonna walk him out there to the firing squad and then act like she has a moment of clarity, her great epiphany. "Oh, they are really bad. Fool, you knew they was bad. They was about to unalive this black man on your watch, ma'am." She pissed me off so bad. I'm not even giving her a name at all. Dom, I'll start with you. What did you think of this woman? And did she surprise you? Were you surprised?
No, I wasn't surprised that she wasn't the mole. I was like, yeah, because it was obvious that she was supposed to be the mole. So the little switch away that she wasn't, I was like, okay, that makes sense. Her turn back good didn't make sense to me. Like, her epiphany at the end to me wasn't deserved. Like, no, nothing they're doing in front of you right now is anything you haven't seen before. I don't believe that you just got on the force a month ago and you ain't seen them do any of this or behave in a consistent way before. So now that you woke up now, because, and they just now that it's a black dude, because his cousin, they did the same thing to his cousin and you didn't say boo. Like, and they sent his cousin off to die and you didn't say nothing. And so don't wake up now, because that's all it is. It's the same way the white lady is thirsting after this man. You just see somebody that got your mouth drooling a little bit, and all of a sudden you feel like you want to save them. I don't buy it. Just go on back over here with your snow brothers and live the life you want to live. Because I don't know why you live in this town anyway. Why do you live here? This is the magical black person. Because what is her backstory? Why does she live here? Leave. And I see no other black people in this town. Leave.
While she in the old Crown Vic and they all got new Chargers. Okay.
I was trying to. Candy, you know what? I can't get the fuck up. I think that she was seeking white validation here, because I knew in the beginning when he tried to come to her for help and she went to the white man. So what about you, Miss Ma'am, says that they was ever going to accept your black ass? But you so steadily trying to seek that white approval, and for what? All of that, and where did it get you?
All this work, and what did it
every
do?
time, Kay, every time Kay gonna go in on a black officer. She don't
Every chance she gets.
Every time.
Oh God.
What she say? You're black still ain't blue enough. What do you say?
That blue ain't protecting your black. It ain't like you still black. Like, Officer, what is it? Jessica Sims. I expected more, girl. I expected more. We knew she wasn't, kinfolk when he came in there, and she typed it up like, "Oh, this is one of those situations. Let me get Don Johnson." The only reason she ran old Don off the road, she's like, you know what? I think the jig is up. Let me get on the right side of the law real quick before he make
last minute, yep.
where he need to make it to. It's getting hot out here. The block is hot. Let me run him on off so I can, no, there was not a yes, black woman. I was like, girl, you and them titties took long enough. You had me there.
Jay says Sister Cop's chopper probably didn't even have real bullets. Probably not. She probably had blanks.
That's where the knee bags came from. They came from her gun.
Tearing them out too. He popped him a couple good times. Oh Lord. Okay, y'all. This is the last one for the night. Who's got your back? And this was for you. This was for you, Tyra, because I said this is her man. James Dalton in Roadhouse or Frank Dukes from Bloodsport. Go ahead, Tyra. You go first.
Okay, you already know. It's Dalton. It's Dalton. It's gonna always be Dalton. That's my man.
He gonna save you.
And he gonna get some ass on up there in the farmhouse. What did you say? All right. Then we gonna have my old man, that old sexy gray-haired old specimen roll up and tag team. We gonna help them together. Always be nice. Always be nice. Get them out of here. Be rough but nice at the same time. It's all and I love me some Jean-Claude Van Damme. I love him. Okay, I love him, but I'm a kickboxer, Jean-Claude Van Damme. Over here, it's gonna always be Dalton. Dalton was here. This could have been a Dalton situation in this film. The small town was there. The corrupt people, ahead. Got the law in their pocket. The blonde love interest. This could have been a Dalton situation, and they messed it up. Love you, Patrick Swayze.
Rest in peace, King. Kay, who got your back? James Dalton, Roadhouse, or Frank Dukes, Bloodsport, Jean-Claude.
Frank Dukes. Bloodsport is one of my favorite fighting movies. Okay, Chung-Li was my guy with his scary looking ass. I think I was a little bit afraid of him, but nobody do a split like Jean-Claude Van Damme. Okay,
on the countertop. I saw that.
Tell me who this buff do a split like Frank Dukes. I gotta go with your boy right here. Okay, he was fighting blind. Okay, old boy blinded him, and he was still able to win the fight.
Okay, so you gonna stick beside him, Dom? It's all you, Lord. Now we're gonna get another Black History lesson, y'all. What, Dom? Who got your back?
And see, y'all be talking about me with the Black History. It ain't me, it's Dom.
I'm trying to make y'all wake up and see what's been going on. and I'm gonna let down the cinephiles. I'm gonna let down a whole bunch of folks because I don't like a lot of 80s action, like Jean-Claude Van Damme movies. I'm smooth on them.
We thought you was a real one for a second.
Nah, I'm not. I'm big Patrick Swayze in Roadhouse just because I don't really like Jean-Claude Van Damme movies. They like one step above Steven Seagal movies to me. I'm like, yeah, they exist.
Wow, Dom, that's what you had for us. That's the note you decided to end off after this.
I know, and I saved you for last because I said, "Oh, he's gonna come with something special for this one." No,
yeah, I ain't got no little known Black History fact. But Tom Joyner ain't here this morning. I ain't got it.
Lord have mercy. That's the end, y'all.
I thought you'd be bigger, Dom. I thought you'd be bigger. I don't have time.
That's the end, y'all. Yeah, we got the box. Old girl ran. Sandy Morgan off the trail sheriff, Sonny Summers, off the road. He has the other man bleeding out from his femoral artery, and the ex-crackhead in the back seat. He makes it to wherever they're going because they called the real authorities, whoever those people are. He's got the little black box recording of the events that took place, and hopefully he's not in prison for the rest of his life. Dom's, you like the ending, so talk to us. I wanted to start with you because I know you liked it.
Yeah, no, I was fine with the ending. I was a little confused at when he got to the hospital. I was like, these cops that's outside, not the same cops from the precinct. Like, they're not coming in to get him. So yeah, not as clear as it could have been. I'll grant that. I will grant that. But I'm okay with them cutting it right here because I don't need to see this black man go to jail for the rest of his life. Like if this scene would have kept going, like we would have got another scene, it would have been. I don't know if you ever seen the alternate ending of Get Out, where like he gets arrested and his friend is coming to visit him in jail, and it's like the most depressing ending in the world. That's it. That's the next scene because there's no way he gets that box to the state boys. There's no way he gets it to the federal people who will do something with it. They take the box. They either kill him or arrest him, and he don't make it out. It ain't no Rebel Ridge 2. So I'm fine with Fade to Black and just let my imagination go where it needs to go.
Okay.
I feel like you ended abruptly, just like this movie.
I did. That was on purpose.
That's the end.
That's it.
I thought you had a slide about him in the woods cooking that fish over a campfire.
For what?
Not the random Asian man removing a bullet from his shoulder. Not the none of it. That's the end.
When it ended, I was just like, I was waiting for like an end credit or something, because I was just like, this can't be like we just gonna cut it off like this. Are we gonna get anything else? Are we gonna get something else? And we didn't. So and in my mind, we're going to have a sequel so that they can pick it back up. Now, if they have a sequel, they're gonna have to pick it back right on back up where they left off. I don't want to see what happened in 2 years. I don't want to see what happened in 6 months. If y'all cut us off right there, I need y'all to pick it back up right there. Sweat bead and all, the same sweat and the dirt smudge that's like right there. I needed to be the same place for a sequel.
Tyra, Lord, Tyra.
When this ended, I was like, you know that scene in Norbert where Norbert Rose rescues Shaw. I was like, finally, it's okay. Yeah, finally, it's over. For Pete's sake. Like, oh gosh, finally, it's done. Like I was ready for it to be over. I was waiting this entire time for him to transform, be my Dalton. I want you to be nice until it's time to not be nice. He was nice the whole time. I'm okay. This looks like they wanted this to be, which I would love. We need a black action hero, but this doesn't, transfer into like, ooh, what, we need multiple installments to this man. No, the one was enough.
Oh, I want to see him again. I'd watch part 2. Go ahead, Dom.
I would like a part 2, but that's why they should have gave him a better name. So his name could have just been the title, because that was my one petty con of this movie. It's not a real con, but it's just something that irritates me personally. And don't give movies a title where the title doesn't have any significance. Like he doesn't even go to Rebel Ridge. Rebel Ridge it appears in one scene and it has no significance. That could have been the riverbed. It could have been an old bridge bottom. It could have been anything.
Could have called it the woods.
Yeah, he just sends them there so he can as a bait and switch. So the idea of what's Rebel Ridge about? What's the Rebel Ridge? We don't know. If they just wanted to inject some sort of Confederacy analog into this movie, it just bothered me because I'm like, oh, that's all Rebel Ridge was. That's it. Right? So, and what's Rebel Ridge 2? Because you got to be in the same city, because you can't go Rebel Ridge 2. Kentucky, you
can't go nowhere.
You can't go nowhere because Rebel Ridge is right there. You can't go nowhere else.
Oh my God.
That did irritate me.
This was just a bad time for us to be discussing why did I get married? Because every time they said Terry, I just saw Tyler Perry.
Terry. Well, y'all, that was it. That's the Rebel Ridge. That's the stuff I wanted to talk about on this evening. But before everybody gets out of here, Dom, let the people know what you have going on, sir.
Oh, what's going on, y'all? Thanks for coming out. Yeah, Screen Static Studios got a lot of stuff coming out. We got lives all this week. doing Bel Air wrap up that I know Tyra is super excited for. Tomorrow is Brandy's A24 movie, The Front Room, which pluck your nose for that one. And we got movies, we got movie reviews, and The Penguin next week on the 19th. The Penguin comes on HBO Max, and that's going to be my first time hosting a live, so show up for that. And yeah, that's it. Screen Tech Studio.
Okay, Kay, what you got going on, Ladybug?
Y'all know we'll be right here tomorrow. These same people right here tomorrow talking about The Front Room. If y'all enjoyed the chuckle tonight, you are going to be cracking your sides tomorrow. It's going to be something else. And then we'll be right back on Thursday to wrap up Bel Air season 3. Friday, we got Reasonable Doubt. Saturday, horror panel. Friday is also the Friday the 13th. So that morning, I will be going live to talk about Jason.
Okay, Tyra over there struggling. The struggle is spectacular.
Yeah, I'm going to Rebel Ridge. All my folks here, all of my day ones who are currently in the chat, please go to the memberships and purchase the second tier. I would love for all of my day ones to be in the house for my very first movie watch along. That's something I've never done, and I'm really curious to see if you guys enjoy it and if it's something that we want to continue on doing. I really think it's going to be great. Come on by for the watch along to Soul Food of all things. It's going to be ridiculous because it's soul food and it's us. It's soul food and it's us in pajamas and popcorn and just hilariosity. I think it's gonna be crazy. So I don't want anybody to miss that. But yeah, be on the lookout. We will literally be here every day this week. I'm just gonna start saying it. I ain't telling y'all nothing. We're gonna be here every day this week. Thank you.
Multiple times on some days. Twice on Sundays. Yeah, exciting. But thank y'all so much for being here. Please, again, go look at everyone's memberships because we all are offering something a little bit different. But that second tier is going to be the thing that gets you into the movie night, honey. We are going to be, if y'all, this is like an experience you guys have never had before. Watching a movie with us is not something that you've done ever before. I promise you'll get your whole entire life. It's going to be amazing. Please make sure that you are subscribed to each of these lovely people on the panel and make sure that you hit that notification bell. If you were in this chat, thank you so much. But also be sure to drop comments under each of our videos. It helps push it out so much more. We appreciate y'all. We thank y'all. We love y'all real bad. Thank you for riding with us even during a presidential debate. We know it was a hard decision, a hard choice to be here. And we thank you. Have a great night, guys.